Hello, welcome to another episode of Super Salt Shakers in the podcast there. Tonight we have a special guest here, Cornova, who is one of New Zealand's E-Black. So he'll be joining us very, very shortly.
Welcome to the Super Salt Shaker Podcast. Chrono. Get ready for the next podcast.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight in the Salt Shaker Podcast. I am your host Chrono, aka Stephen. Or the other way around really. So tonight we have Cornova, aka Thomas Choi. He'll be joining us right now. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, whoever is listening or is gonna listen later.
Nah, I'm pretty sure everyone's tuning in right now. We've already got one, which is probably us. It's good to finally have you here doing your own podcast. I mean, last time you did have Saint around.
Yeah, I was just here as a translator.
Just a translator.
Yeah.
Just a translator. No, but it's good to have your own now. So tell us about, you joining, the E-Blacks. I know that it's not as fabulous as joining the All Blacks, but, how does it feel? I mean, it's probably, quite a honour to sort of support your country.
That's a very ironic question in a way, because support your country, which...
it is your country now. I mean, you're living here. You're not...
In that way, of course, I feel happy that I've made it in. And I feel proud that I managed to really prove myself that I'm an E-Black for Tekken. A lot of people considered me to take the whole thing overall in New Zealand, so it would have been kind of a shame for me if I couldn't really live up to what they're expecting, right?
Well, you don't really have to. I mean, you just need to play the game.
Well, in a sense that if I lose, people would just take it as it's the general tournament nerves, but I just wanted to overcome that over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really awesome that you're actually, that you're supporting New Zealand for that. Well, when are you going?
I'm pretty sure it's in November, so not all the full schedules come out yet, but it should be early November to mid-November, or mid-November to in between that, around mid-November.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be actually supporting you over Twitch.
I hope so. I hope so.
No, we will. I mean, we're going to favour you over any other people, I mean,
of course.
You're New Zealand.
Yeah.
You're dressed up in black right now. But what you need to do though, Thomas, is you need to practice on your haka.
I am not gonna do the haka, honestly.
Why not?
What? Why have you been saying this since Saturday? I gotta be doing the haka.
Did you actually hear me when we were on Monday, in the theatre? I was actually yelling out. I was like, "Do the haka!"
No, I did not hear that. Actually, speaking of which, if you guys actually were screaming out, you practically cannot hear anything at the backstage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can't even hear.
Just fully silent, is it?
The only thing you could probably hear is the MC.
Yeah.
And the interview guy, but other than that, you can't hear anyone else.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a bit... Yeah, that's definitely weird, but... No, I mean, I can understand that. It's probably a little bit... it'll be a little overbearing. Yeah,
to think that because you're right behind them, you can hear everything. But in fact, you can't really hear anything.
Yeah. Tell us about... because you were mentioning before, when we were getting ready, or when you guys were getting ready for LPL on Monday, you guys get to choose your own theme song?
Oh yeah, so after the LPL tournaments finished and the TWT tournaments were finished, the guys who made it into that top 8 were asked to choose a theme song for the entrance. So these theme songs will be like that. They were actually telling us that we will have to enter the stage. They'll be rolling the camera and such. And when we walk in, we would need that theme song. So
That is so cool, man.
Yeah, I think
that is so
people
cool.
chose the ones they liked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Oh, what? So is that why Kyo actually chose that, like, that song?
Yeah,
Pop
yeah.
It Like It's Hot.
But
really? He actually chose that?
Yeah, he chose
Oh
that.
my
but
goodness.
He actually
Hear that, guys? He chose it.
he changed it in the last moment.
But
On
then
the
they
day,
didn't.
like
But then
right
they-
before the.
So he wasn't going to be playing that.
Yeah, he was initially gonna be playing. I'm pretty sure it was gonna be the Gao scene from Street Fighter 2.
Oh my goodness. Okay. No, that's actually pretty cool. But then, really? Pop It Like It's Hot?
And then he changed it on the last moment. I think maybe if you ever get him on your podcast, you can ask him why he suddenly changed to that. I would assume because it's like kind of trolling,
It's gangster.
sandbagging to do Street Fighter in a Tekken tournament.
That's pretty bad. I think that's a fair call. I mean, Guile theme goes well with anything. You know?
Yeah. But come on, seriously, on media, Tekken tournament, and a Street Fighter song comes out.
To be honest, though, I think that for me is I'd actually choose for all those wrestling fans out there. I'll probably choose John Cena's theme.
Yeah, they were talking about that as well. Like they said any song and
Any song?
yeah, and when I heard this initially, the first thing that came into my mind is that you know how a couple of years back there was Tekken Crash, and on the highlight scene, the music was really good. So I had to look that up, and I chose that one. And what had actually happened was, believe it or not, everyone was almost. I wasn't that nervous, but everyone else was practically shaking the whole time on Monday evening when it started airing.
Who shook the hardest? Who was actually most scared?
I would say it was BG actually.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Man, like that guy.
He was almost throwing up.
No, I mean, I guess that sometimes you'd be so nervous that you would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that feeling before, and that is not good. That was the time when I got married. I was
I
so.
think anyone in that position.
That was stage fright, man.
Yeah.
Super stage fright.
That's really weird because he's been in international tournaments, and maybe because it was a TV show this time, but he just couldn't get over it, and he was like, keep saying, "I want to go home. I want to get over and done with," and he was so nervous. I think he was the most nervous guy. Saint was actually shaking a lot as well. The funny thing is he's been on bigger stages. I'm not sure why.
He's on bigger stages, but the thing is that you see, it's TV.
Yeah, I think so.
TV is different
because he's never been on a sports channel. He's been on a cable TV channel which does games only, but not on a national sports channel.
Was he ever in Tekken Crash?
Yeah, he was. He was in.
was?
I could think about 2 Tekken Crashes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's never managed to get up to the finals, but he was there. So when he heard my entrance music, he started laughing and he was asking Peter, who was there for the translation, random translator by the way. They just decided to pick him on the day, and he started laughing. He's like, "This is Tekken Crash, right?" And then he stopped shaking after that. So.
Oh, that's good then. Well, I guess that but it's your fault that you lost him because you got his confidence up.
No, I think he got his confidence up when he was playing Zazov Jamie, aka Jamie. He was on the show before. I think he was your first.
Yeah, Zazov. No, he was my second.
Sorry, Eject was Blackout was your first one, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
Good. So I think Saint recovered when he was during while he was playing Jamie.
Yeah.
But I think he got a lot of it off after hearing it.
Okay. Well, no, that everyone seemed to be playing quite badly that night.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
BG wasn't at his top at all.
Nah.
He was probably I'd say he was probably 50%.
He was more than 50%. He got over it. Like he was playing much better.
Yeah.
The backstory is I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. So when he lost the first match and when he was losing the second match against Kill, which was his first opponent for the evening, he actually told me that he thought he's gonna lose. He's like, I'm done for tonight already, because he couldn't get over the nerves.
Yeah.
The TV show nerves. And if you guys are watching the LPL stream right now, or if you're planning to later, they're doing a rerun of the Monday evening, and you can just go have a watch later how he suddenly changes in pace against Kill from the second game, from the second round. And what had actually happened was that when he was losing, he thought, "Oh, I'm done." And then as soon as he was thinking this, he saw Sevio right in front of him. Xavier was sitting at the front seat on the right hand side.
Oh, okay.
From when we were watching.
Yeah.
And apparently, when Xavier saw BG losing, he was like giving this grin, like a smile, smirking.
Oh no.
You know that
Yeah,
that face.
the Seville face.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then BG's like, I'm not gonna go for this. I'm not gonna lose.
I'm not gonna take this shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take this. And then he just came back. Even so, he managed to beat Kyo. He still couldn't get the nerve. So, like, he was playing around, I would say, maybe to a 70-80% when he was playing me.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think that was his full potential there.
He wasn't. He definitely wasn't at his best. Or I can tell, like, a lot of people weren't at their best. Like, for example, yourself, when you were versing Saint, like, I think when you pick Kazumi.
Yeah.
I was like, we were all. I was pretty much, especially me. I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you didn't do any running twos. You didn't do any. You were doing a lot of down forward ones, but hardly any. Running twos.
Because running two, yeah. Well, think of it now. Like going back to it now, running two wouldn't have been a bad choice against Jack. Like thinking of it now, I didn't do it much because I thought it's too risky to do it. But yeah, you're right. Running two would have been it wouldn't have been a bad option to run in. The reason I didn't use running too much was because it's not a very good move. Believe it or not, it's actually not a very good move.
Why do you say that?
Because the situation afterwards, you're minus. It's actually not a plus move. It's minus. I believe it's around -6. It gives a pushback. So it's kind of neutral, but you don't really get anything out of it. Whereas if you get rid of doing it, they can actually stop you in between. And they can launch you as well. So especially Saint, who is already used to playing one of the world best out there when he was joining other TWT tournaments. I was assuming that it was just my pure assumption because I was assuming that if I did running two, it wouldn't work very well. And when I tried a couple of times, it actually didn't. So the reason I picked Kazumi is a lot of people ask me. I'm not sure why everyone's asking me. If I pick Kazumi, it's because
it's not really about you picking Kazumi. It was really the main question was. It's not why did you pick Kazumi. It's why did you pick Lars.
Lars was a counter pick.
To Jack?
Yeah, it was a counter pick. So that's why I managed to take a round off him, although I couldn't take any rounds off with Kazumi. If I didn't mess up so much when I was playing him, maybe I could have won another round or maybe that game. But it was actually a counter pick. Close to a counter pick.
Okay. No, well, I mean, I guess that tournament, you have to allow some kind of sort of, I'd say, grace, really, like, because you have to consider that you're nervous as hell and you're bound to drop combos, really, in some cases.
Funny thing is, I was doing really bad inputs that day, so I did up forward slight neutral 3 with Shaheen. I dropped like 2 combos as last. I never dropped with combos as last. That's like so unusual for me. Yeah, I would say it was because of the. You can say it's maybe because of the nerves of the tournament, but I really didn't think it was the nerves. It was just me. I really had this huge issue that day. Well, after Saturday, personally, I just had this thing over my mind that I can't beat Sainted currently. Like whatever I'm gonna do. Casuals is a different story, but if in a tournament situation, I'm not gonna be able to beat Saint. One of the reasons was the podcast I came to him was on when I was translating for him on Saturday.
Yes.
After Saturday, I was already burnt out, and listening to him and talking with him throughout the whole weekend just gave me like thinking, oh, okay, he like a lot. I heard a lot of personal things, like how he got good and what he did to get good and everything. It's too much to talk about, but anyway, just listening to, I felt a lot of things, and from that, what my conclusion is that I am not gonna be able to beat Saint at the moment.
You actually think that?
Yeah, I was thinking that, and the whole time, like whatever I'm thinking, I'm just like, I don't think I can beat him at this point. And it's not the skill gap; it's just that the different mindset between an amateur player and a pro player. He's sponsored. He's a pro player. He is a
Well,
completely...
he is getting paid for it.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, as a pro player, and like for me, I'm. You guys won't really take it, but I'm more of quite a casual player. I think I'm quite casual compared to a lot of other people who play.
I think a lot of us think we're quite casual.
Yeah.
And all that compared to people of the likes of Saint and JCR and things like that.
Not just people who play professionally, but if you ever met BG online, playing online, you see him like the whole day. He just leaves it on the whole day and does something else. But I don't do that. I just play like maybe an hour or two max, or maybe 3 hours sometimes. But I don't even do this every day, right? Whereas, and so I just play to the level where I'm satisfied with what I'm playing. And Saint's case, he has a mindset of a professional sports player, I think, to the extent.
I think they all do, really.
Yeah, if you talk to him about like things like this, about his mindset when he plays and everything, you actually get it's amazing. Actually, I think that's the perfect word to put it. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And after hearing that, it's like so much.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, you do some pretty amazing stuff, like on Tekken and things like that. I mean, you're pretty much the only one that's quite consistent. I mean, I could say the same about Jamie, but the thing is that Jamie has he hasn't been playing as much as a lot of people have.
Yeah, you see, I play, but I don't play much. But I play to the extent where I can keep to a certain level. I don't drop huge. Jamie's case, he dropped Tekken completely over Tekken Tag 2. He hardly played. Maybe in tournaments he did, but other than that he didn't. Whereas I also keep playing. I played when I visited Korea during Tekken Tag 2 era a couple of times. Whereas Jamie just dropped it completely almost. So, and he was playing Street Fighter rather than Tekken. He started playing Street Fighter. Okay. So the problem is at high level, if you don't play, your gaming instincts or your reactions to with punishing or just the game in general, the gameplay in general, you can't keep up because they get experienced more and more and more playing other top levels or playing with other top levels. So anyway, the conclusion of that is that I already had this mental block that I can't beat Saint. See, that's one of the reasons that I think I did so bad, considering that compared to other guys, because my mindset against the other guys on Monday was completely the opposite. That I know I'm not gonna lose. I won't lose. The whole thing was whatever they did, I'm not gonna lose. So I was really confident with every other player that they except for Saint, because I still couldn't get over it. I think this will be better by the time I go to IeSF. I actually found out who's gonna be the Korean representative.
Oh, and who would that be?
Jumping.
Oh, okay.
The Lucky Chloe couple player.
Yeah.
He was recently in Manila Cup. He's really good. He's really close friends with Saint as well. Yeah. And on was it Saturday or when was it? On Sunday, I think. Sunday evening, yeah. When Manila Cup was on, Saint was actually watching Twitch and seeing what he was doing and he was like commenting on how he was playing and everything. Yeah. He said he had to watch it because they have their own chat room.
It's like he had to watch it because they made him.
No. They watched him and then comment on how they played and what they should have done. Why did they do that? So it's like they help them improve each other, which is sweet.
Well, yeah, no, that's interesting to know and everything. But yeah, let's go on to the next topic here. Yeah. Tell us about how you started Tekken and how you broke into the community.
How I started Tekken. First time
exactly, you were kind of public enemy number one in Tekken Tag 5. I mean, sorry, in Tekken Tag 1 and
Tekken Tag 5.
Tekken Tag 1 and Tekken 5. There we go.
So when I first started playing was, I think the first was in the community. The community was when there was Tekken Tag in eFans, and there was no Tekken 5 in eFans. I think they already had Tekken 5 in Time Zone at the time. I didn't know where Time Zone is, and I never went to Time Zone. I found out about Time Zone much later. But I used to always hang around eFans between uni breaks and like that. And
there was a Tekken 1 machine, Tekken Tag 1 machine in the uni.
Yeah, there was. I'm not sure if it's still there, but there was.
Is there still an arcade? I don't think so.
Maybe they got because that was part of eFans. I think they, from far as I remember. So anyway, I started playing Tekken Tag when I was at uni.
Yeah.
Because I always liked Tekken.
Mm-hmm.
My first ever Tekken game was on PlayStation 1. You guys might know or might not know, but there's an alleyway in Takapuna, and it's a fish and chips shop now. But at the time, that one or the other one, around there anyway. There's a small alleyway. There's a couple of shops, and one of them, some guy had brought the PlayStation over from Japan and was selling it. I think the console price was like $799 at the time.
That's expensive, man.
$799, yeah. And the game he had on there was Tekken 1. So that's where I first played Tekken ever.
What, is this a PS1, is it?
Yeah, on PS1.
Okay.
And then I just played and I saw Tekken Tag 1 and wow, this game's really cool. So I never really played it properly, and then when I got into uni and I started playing, that's when I really started trying to learn, but really enjoy the game.
How did you sort of get to the sort of level, or how did you start learning the game though? What actually made you want to learn the game? Because I know that a lot of people would actually play the game, but then they don't really play it properly. What they'll do is they'll do all these Hail Marys, they'll just do big launches, big lows, and mainly 10 hit strings.
Yeah.
So, and you're doing 10 hit strings, you're like, oh my god, I'm really good.
Yeah.
That,
I just wanted to. I think the time that I really wanted to get better was around Tekken 6. Not BR, but when it was 6.0. At the time, me and Jamie used to play. You
guys were having a lot of mean scraps on Tekken 6.
We used to play a lot, early in the morning, in the afternoon, everything, and we used to play heaps.
I hardly saw you in Tekken 5 though.
I played at different times than everyone else played. And I didn't play at Time Zone. I think a lot of players were there as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never played Tekken 5 much at Time Zone. I think the first time I actually went down there was there was this, I don't remember his name, but there was this Korean guy who used to play Bake. Maybe you remember him.
Tommy, I think that's his name.
And I went
down there. He had a hat,
there.
right? Always has a green hat.
I don't remember, but I don't even remember their faces now.
All I remember was Tommy, who was playing Bake, and my flatmate now, Aaron. He used to always get pissed. He's he's just always pissed off at that Beck player. Yeah. Always there was Jason as well.
Yeah, Jason, the Kazuya player.
Yeah, the Kazuya player who just doesn't know how to electric properly.
Yeah,
he'll run up to you. He'll run up to you and he'll do a down forward 2.
Yeah.
And then you try to duck it.
Yeah.
And then you always get hit by the down forward 2.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but you knew that he was trying to do an electric.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I started, and at the time I would mainly used to play this guy who would always be there when I go, and we used to say hi.
Yeah.
By the way, that's Jamie. We didn't even know our names till much later.
Yeah.
We just said hi, and
He did mention in the podcast that he was on that you guys didn't really talk much.
Yeah, we just met and said hey, and then started playing. There was also this, I don't remember his name either, but there was a guy who used to play Paul and Brian. He played until mid BR, I think.
Who's this?
The guy who, I don't remember his name, but he always used to stand up and play. Maybe you remember the guy.
Nightchild.
Yeah, Nightchild, there we go.
Nightchild. I don't ask me why I remember all these people, but I do.
I remember I remember his face. I particularly remember him because there's a reason I remember this. And I'm gonna actually, since you asked me about it, I might as well talk about it. So, how I entered the community is I think I'm not sure if it was Lee J or Jamie. But anyway, someone had said that we have this community and a website called Tekken Zaibatsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he said, you're pretty good. Why don't you come join us?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you guys know the Oakland scene back from Tekken 5, there was so much like drama and hate going on against some certain people. You guys might know or not. Well, I wouldn't really call it hate. It
was really banter.
Yeah.
A lot of banter.
Yeah, like shit talk. And,
Yeah. It was practically Shortland Street.
Yeah, it's a lot of, especially against the guys who were not in the community. Like BG was, including BG, me, and yeah. So you guys, you guys are already in the community. You guys are chatting on Zaibatsu and whatsoever. So, and I was told you should come and join us, and I was like okay, and then I didn't for a while, and I was just curious one day because I kind of like. I was at the point where I started really want to talk with the people I played. Mm-hmm. I knew some people already hate me so much because back when I first started playing, grabbing in New Zealand was like a prohibited thing. No one used to grab anyone using a grab.
I guess that like there's a lot of mentality like
because it's hard to break.
It's hard to break,
and it does so much damage.
Yeah.
So no one was grabbing, and then I came along, and all I was doing was grabbing them.
You were also doing a lot of backdash, and
that was in Tekken 6. I had no movement in Tekken 5. In DR I didn't either. So one day, this was back in Tekken 5. It wasn't. It was no, it was after. It wasn't DR. Maybe I actually don't even remember now. Anyway, I was told this, and later I was just like, I just felt like maybe I should really start talking to people. I know they're nice guys. If you like talk to them, because I've talked to some of you already before, and it's not like you guys like hated everyone, right? So one day I just decided that okay, let's go to the Zaibatsu website and find New Zealand. Mm-hmm. So somehow I took a while and then just went through the website and found the matchmaking for Australia, New Zealand, found a New Zealand post, and voila, I saw it, and I was reading backwards, like seeing what you guys are talking about. Yeah. And I always see all this like shit talk about like, oh, it's that guy played a game. It's like, and it's clearly me. And then he's also talking about BG and giving names, and.
What, like chessboard hat guy?
Yeah, the BG. It was BG.
Oh, and you were what? You were a CEO? I think you were CEO at one point?
I'm not sure when that was, but...
Yeah, you were CEO, you were Jellyfang. Well, that was your card name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jellyfang was my card name. And the reason I remember Nightchild so well is because when I talked to him, when I play games, and because he was one of my first guys I played in Tekken Tag 1 machine, and we used to be friendly. Well, I thought it was. And on the same day, I went to the website. Before I went to it, I said hi and had a short chat. And then later you go there and you find out that he's like one of the guys, like one of the main guys doing this.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah.
The chessboard head thing.
Yeah.
It was his post. Let's call this name. That's why I remember him so well, because a lot of the guys from the Tekken 5 era I actually don't remember very well.
Well, that's the thing though. Like trolling is really new to everyone, and you know, I guess that for me, I can say that I was one of the culprits of like, you know, sort of talking shit, but I guess now you know, you kind of learn from it. You sort of, you know, it's like what? How long ago was that now? Like I don't know, 12 years ago?
Yeah, for 12 years.
12 years ago, you know, and you learn a lot.
Yeah, well, we were still like
we were still we were still practically kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was a lot of hate going along and a lot of trolling. It's just really just banter and just trying to get a reaction out of things.
Anyway, so that day I like saw this, I'm like, I'm gonna join Zaibatsu and say hi. And I did. I said, hey, I'm the guy you guys talking about. And the reactions were really funny. And I think that's when I really tried to talk with everyone. Like anyone who I play. Mm-hmm. Before I used to not talk with anyone. I used to hate losing to anyone, even if they were better.
Mm-hmm.
I just used to hate it, and really used to hate losing. I used to hate the fact that I can't block what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know what they're gonna do, but I can't react to it. I just used to hate it, and I just wanted to break out of that, and that's why I decided, okay, might as well talk to them on Zaibatsu. At the time, BG was the same. Maybe you want to talk to him later about it, but if you ever get the chance to invite him over.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to really, really hate BG.
Oh, I think that we all did at one point.
Yeah,
You're not the only one.
I used to hate BG so much. I went to eFans one day,
Okay.
and I saw this guy I think it was 7th Dan or something at the time. A Hawaiian player I've never seen before.
Okay.
He looks pretty young. Was a hat on. He used to always wear that hat at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. This chessboard hat.
It's a, what do you call it? It's actually, okay, he was wearing that hat before it was popular.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a fedora.
Yeah,
it's a fedora.
Yeah, it is a fedora.
So, you'll have like all these hipsters and things like wearing fedoras, but BG wore fedoras when it wasn't even
it wasn't.
hip.
It was just his style.
Yeah, it's just him.
Yeah.
You don't see him wearing that fedora anymore.
Yeah,
Whatever happened to it?
I have no idea. He just stopped wearing it.
Maybe he should. Maybe if he got famous in Tekken, and he could like take that hat back out and sell it on eBay or something.
Maybe, but it's just that he has his own. He said once that he just has this fashion style that he always does. But anyway, I just went to eFans and this guy's there, and I play him, and like I beat him, but like I really don't like how he plays. How I like somehow beat him, but it's like this has this, I don't know if you ever felt it playing someone, but this like thing in your mind, like, oh my god, this guy plays like a dick.
Yeah. No, it happens to all of us, so
Yeah.
you're not the only one. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, and I used to just hate playing him, and like in DR, I would hardly lose to BG at the time, but I still hated playing him. Well, because like not hated playing him, but just hated him in general. Like, oh my god, this guy's like rude. And
Dude, man, you don't have to worry, man. You're not the only one. I can tell you this much. It's just how it is.
yeah, but thinking about it now, he was actually quite good in that standards where the general Auckland level was. And maybe it's because I've never seen him before and he was so good. Maybe I just didn't like the fact that he was so good. Whereas I've been through so much for this, and it's just a kid. It was a simple-minded thing at the time.
Okay. Well, no, well, that's actually really interesting there.
Yeah.
What's happening and everything. But before we get into our next questions and everything,
Yeah.
I'd like to take this time just to announce that, hey guys, if you guys aren't doing anything this coming Saturday, definitely come into Rambats, where we normally have this every fortnight. It's going to be on the 16th, starts at 1 o'clock, and it will be held at the Mega Web Internet Cafe in Auckland. So for those that don't know where it is, it's on Hobson Street, sort of near La Porchetta. So if you guys aren't doing anything there, just definitely check it out. And if you guys think that you're really good and you guys want to just test our limits, definitely come along. It's $10 to enter. It's a double elimination bracket, so you guys don't just pay $10, lose, and then go home. That just doesn't work that way. Everybody gets 2 chances, and it will be really, really good. Not to mention that on the 6th to the 8th of October, Southern Cross Up will be on. That's that's the biggest tournament for fighting games ever held in New Zealand. It's actually bigger than Red Zone Rumble that's happened in Christchurch last month there. So for whoever wants to actually come by, test their limits on with the best players and everything, you're more than welcome to do so. Also, it is you can bring your pad, you can bring your hitbox, you can bring your stick, you can even bring your keyboard if you want. If you think that playing on keyboard's good. So yeah, definitely check it out, enter, see what you got. Right, getting back to questions there. And for those that just tuned in, we've got Cornova here, one of our best New Zealand players and also a representative of the E-Blacks. So, back to the questions there. You've actually had quite a lot of names back then. So I would like to say that I would like to ask, how did you get the name Abuji?
That's you. Was it you? Oh,
I didn't do it. I didn't say anything.
Was it Ping or was it?
What, Chicago?
It's one of those two. So we used to have quite a lot of casual.
At Chicago's.
Yeah.
I used to always just come around and then I used to play a few games and I'll just fall asleep.
This was back in Tekken Tech 2, and I used to bring Savio along to, and then they were like, when I went, because I'm the one who's generally winning in it, and Savio's there and he's a young one. He's like, so I can't remember. It was one of them and said, "Oh, you're the Abuji," and then they just started keep saying it.
You're the Abuji.
Yeah.
So how did it actually come about though? Like, I mean, was it one night when
it was just
random?
Really, it was just randomly like, oh, maybe he was one of them was watching a Korean drama at the time or something, but I actually don't know. Maybe
I'm sure it was Ping.
You can ask one.
Ping
of them
is a
later.
massive troll though.
Yeah, and then they just started calling Abuji, and then like other people heard it out of somewhere, and then now like it's just
that's amazing.
I told them to stop at a certain point and just like they never.
You just accepted it,
and I could because there's no point because they like even if I tell them to stop,
you know, if you tell them to stop, they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, so I just like whatever, and just let it go, and just keep doing it.
It's Abuji. Is it actually disrespectful of us calling you Abuji?
Well, it's in a way that I wouldn't say it's disrespectful. I don't think that's the right term here. It's just not PC. Yeah, it's
not politically correct.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to hear that like as a nickname Abuji. It's funny because Saint was laughing so hard on Tuesday evening about this, like on Saturday, because people keep calling me Abuji.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Why are you calling him Abuji?"
Oh, he doesn't know the history.
Yeah, so
to be honest, New Zealand's got a really, really deep history in Tekken, on the Tekken scene.
Yeah,
it's probably not as well. I think that because it seems like we've got more of a community in Tekken than Street Fighter. Street Fighter has a lot of arcade games back then.
Yeah.
I used to remember going to a lot of arcades, going to a lot of random arcades at video stores, takeaways and things like that. And there's always Street Fighter. But Tekken was something that you do in town.
I was never into that arcade machine thing too. I was in university, so I wouldn't have a clue. But I do remember when I was young, there used to be a lot of arcades back in like the first time I ever went to eFans was when I was quite young. At the time when I went there was like I think at least 2 other arcades in Central.
Yeah.
You know where Britomata is?
Yeah. There's so many.
Where's the shop? They're rebuilding there now.
Yeah.
But where Dick Smith and the mall was there, there used to be an arcade there. There was a huge arcade there. Right across the road from that, and the way I think it's one of the expensive branding areas there. One of the shops used to be, or was it in a different alleyway? And one of there inside used to be a gaming store where also plus an arcade.
Oh, okay.
So at the time, I think they had different games like.
I think that with arcades back then, like a long time ago, it was sort of like Philippines and their time zones.
Yeah,
it's just like an arcade in every corner.
Yeah, there was an arcade even in the shore. There's no arcade there now, but the bowling area used to be a huge arcade there. So one disappeared after another, and then we just now have time zone and timeout left. But at the time,
what does that say?
Abuji.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's actually Abuji. Yeah. That's actually funny. Yeah. Now that it's actually live on on the internet now, everybody's gonna probably call you Abuji.
No thanks. No thanks. I might have to change my handle to Abuji, right?
Yeah, Abuji. It's like E-Black Abuji.
No, thank you.
It's definitely times have changed now. A lot of. I think that with Tekken, it used to be all arcade dominant. Yeah. Now it's more starting to become console and PC and things like that.
Yeah.
But moving along to the next question there. I mean, there's a lot of questions that we have to ask you, really. One of them would basically be... Oh, I've got it right here. So... It's like, who is your favorite Tekken player and why is it Zazov? No, we don't have to answer that. Don't answer that. So what kind of preparation are you planning to do for the upcoming tournament in Korea?
I'm actually gonna look up who else is entering. So I found out one, which is the Korean rep.
Yes.
It just came through a retweet through Saints because I'm following him. So I'll probably look up which characters they use and how they play, and probably practice mainly against those characters rather than try to figure out how to play against everyone. I will probably need someone to help me practice against a lot of the characters, but the problem is there's not really an Eddie player in New Zealand at the moment. No, don't say Savio because he's not.
What? Why not?
No, he's nowhere.
What about Penalicious? You can always get Penalicious to come around.
He probably plays is really different from how
a lot of the Koreans play.
Yeah, it's really different.
Okay. Okay then. So basically, it's just going to be a lot of labs for you, eh?
I would need to figure out how to punish certain things, how to block against a certain mix-up, because a lot of the things I actually have no idea how to block. Eddie, I know that a lot of the things can be backdashed, but as an example, is John thing because we know he's coming. He has really, really good movement. I think he has one of the best movement in the Korean scene, just movement-wise.
Okay.
And so it's really, really quick how he can just come in and go.
Do you think it could be the stick? Do you think that?
No, it's not the stick. It's just
get a Korean stick.
I have one. I just don't use it.
You just don't like it, do you?
It's really different. So I don't want to move away from what I'm using. I'm really happy with my current stick.
So it's basically a JLF with a bat top.
Yeah. So
that's what you're using.
I don't want to suddenly adapt to another stick when I've kind of gotten used to it now.
I think that it's actually good that you finally know what equipment you're going to use. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
A lot of us are actually trying to figure it out.
Well, it's going to be a long homework, to be honest, because if you want to really go in depth to sticks, it's really, really a lot of studying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Saint keep coming Saint up because I ended up talking with him about a lot of things, but he has practically almost all the sticks that you could probably find now and in the past that was ever released. And he
Who's
said
this?
Saint.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah.
He said that he actually made the stick for JDCR as well, the one he's currently using.
Okay.
And then
you're the one that Saint has. It's massive.
Yeah, he's using Obsidian, but the inside is actually all customized by him.
Oh, okay. So it's sort of like that Xiao Yu stick that you can see right there.
Yeah, it's the outside's customized and the inside. He's changed everything inside, so it's just the outside is Obsidian, but inside is completely different.
Okay. What do you think about your Panthera?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's nothing changed inside except the bolt
Okay.
up to the.
I can be honest with you. I like the weight.
Yeah.
And everything. I absolutely hate the stick.
Why?
Because it squeaks.
Oh, mine used to squeak as well.
Oh, but then it stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it must be like an age thing.
It might be because your stick is too new or you haven't used it enough. I'm not sure, but mine used to squeak when I bought it for. Like, it was okay in day 1, and day 2 it started squeaking. I was like, is there something?
Let me just get this. Okay, so you're gonna hear this. So, okay, so this is the stick here, and then if I press down on it.
Yeah. Yours is like a little bit worse than mine. I didn't have this kind of squeak. My squeak was from the stick, not the stick itself.
Oh, okay. No, like, it's the actual enclosure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's bad. But
that's weird because mine doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, I need to get Jambo to look into that.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to look into it. Because I think his one's doing exactly the same.
Yeah, mine. I think the initial ones also have a different coloring at the top. Mine's a little bit darker than yours.
Yeah, I think that's the design.
Yeah,
it's the design. I believe Hani Mohani. Yeah. He's got the same color as that color scheme.
Speaking of which, he actually recognized me and he was asking about BG when he came up to Auckland. Whereas I don't even remember about him. Kind of sad. The sad story.
That is so sad. No, but I guess that, it's like a fan, if you have fans out there, and they say...
it's the same as Sevio. Apparently Sevio has played BGME. I have no idea when I played him.
Is that before you sort of adopted him?
When did I adopt him? Yeah,
well, that's why you're Abuji.
No, like when before I was really new him.
Yeah,
apparently he had played us before, and I have no idea when he did.
Yeah, that's the same as with a lot of people. They basically tell me, it's like, hey, I played you in the arcade. Your Xiaoyu's cheap.
Yeah, your Xiaoyu's cheap.
And then I'm like, who are you? you know,
they told you the truth.
Yeah, I know.
It's cheap. Xiaoyu's cheap. Always cheap.
She's getting a nerf soon.
Yeah, I hope it's a very big nerf.
It's actually float. Like according to Cornwallis, it's AOP. Yeah, the AOP sweep that she has. It's a float now.
Yeah. So funny thing is, Iggs actually had tweeted something for the punish, and he deleted it like right away.
Really?
Yeah. So it's if you see in Discord, it's actually the tweet's still there, but if you go into it,
it's gone.
It's gone.
So does that mean how to deal with that?
Yeah, how to punish it. I think it must be pretty. The punish must be pretty big on it if he got rid of it. He didn't want other people to see.
Okay. Well, guess that I'm not going to be using that much.
That's not coming to consoles till like 20th something, so it's not going to affect us for the time being. But that patch is going to be definitely live before IeSF, so that's nice.
Okay. So I guess that you can go up against a lot of people that uses Xiaoyu. Not really many. It's just a handful of people in the world that really main her.
Because it's really hard to play her. She's a really tricky character to learn.
Oh yeah, no, I can understand that. But yeah, let's take a look at some other ones. Oh, here's a good one. It's like, how could you have so many sons? And who is the best son amongst them, Abuji?
No comment. This doesn't make sense.
You know who wrote that, right?
No, I don't want to. Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously. No, I'm not going to answer that. That's a silly question. Come on, next one.
Okay. Oh, well, this has already been answered. It's like, hi, Cornova. I'm wondering which version of the haka will you do?
I won't do any haka, thank you.
Why not?
If we have to do it when we go over there as an E-Black, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's going, right? I would assume that there's there would be the LOL team, League of Legends team, and whatever games there. I would hope that there's other people going.
I reckon it would be pretty fun.
But if they do it,
I would so do the haka.
If they do it, then maybe. But other than that, not really.
No, I would so do it for my country. Come on, man.
It's not about the country.
No, man. It's the war dance. It's a war dance. It's like,
I know,
and this is a war.
It's not, it's sports. Sports is not a war.
It's a war to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, yes, in effect, in a way, yes.
All right. Which mountain will you train under in order to defeat Saint?
Defeat Saint? I don't think I will ever be playing Saint for a while, so...
Or against anyone?
Well...
You're going to be training under a waterfall? You're going to be meditating?
I do want to play Saint again.
Yeah.
If he does come over again, or if I see him somewhere else. By then, I would have a better mental state than now about beating him. At the moment, I've actually started playing Jack a little yesterday. Mm-hmm. Just to see what people do against it. Well, I just played James yesterday. I'll play someone else again. I'm with Jack for a while. I'm planning to go to Rambats this Saturday as well. Mm-hmm. And I will mainly just be playing Jack purposely. Not to get good with Jack, but just to see what people do that I can't do. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can adapt to that. I can adapt to it. I don't really think it was Jack though. It's not the character. It's just how he plays, and
he's got the fundamentals down. Yeah. Plus, he's so quick at thinking.
Just
on his
to add on a little. I'm not sure if you were gonna ask later about it or not, but when I play Tekken, even when I played against Ni or back was only practice back in Tekken Tag 2, I thought they were great players. They're really, really good. Ni, I thought I don't think I could. It would be very difficult to beat him.
He's got a lot of fundamentals.
Yeah, I thought he was like a machine.
He's a god.
Because you press a jab and he will launch you as electric.
Maybe he's got a programmable stick. Who knows?
So you get the feeling that, oh my god, this guy's really good. But I never had an issue with spacing with anyone. Mm-hmm. And when I played Saint, that's really the first time I ever felt when I'm playing Tekken that I have an issue with spacing, that I can't space myself. Okay. Like that's why I became a Saint fanboy. Shout out to Saint.
And now you got to meet him, so that was.
No, I became a fanboy when I met him, and playing him and learned a lot.
What was funny though is that on Saturday after the after this little podcast that we did,
Yeah.
and then we all went there. Wherever Saint went, everybody went.
Yeah.
Everybody was lining up just to
Well,
it was so funny.
I played him, so I wasn't so keen because he was so tired that day. I actually told him we can go back, but he actually stayed for you guys.
Oh man, he is such a good guy.
Yeah.
He is so.
He was really, really tired.
He's an MVP, man. I respect that.
Just
That's
as a
one
person,
thing that I
not
respect.
the player, but as
Yeah.
a person, Saint's a really nice person.
Yeah. Saint is nice. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all nice.
This podcast is becoming all about Saint.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, you even have someone like Sodam, who's actually a little cocky.
Yeah.
But he's one heck of a personality.
Yeah.
He is definitely a personality. But yeah, no, that's
Saint Shaker.
yes, Saint Shaker.
I
Yeah.
know, right? Yeah. Well, just anyway. Yeah.
No. So, no, this is all interesting there. There's another one here, which I believe you have already answered, but just thought that I'd ask it again. Did you feel the big pressure when you were up against Saint, and did you fall into his pacing instead of bringing your own?
Yeah, well, yes, that's definitely a yes. I've completely fell into his space because, one, he already knows how I play. So during TWP, and we had short casuals on Sunday, and I think that was really stupid. Just thinking about it now, it wasn't a very good thing to do.
What,
'Cause
you playing casuals?
Yeah, we did. The guy who was staying in hotel, me, Ajit, Kyo, Jamie, had a couple of games with him. I think that was really stupid to do, because by that I was not playing my mains on purposely. I was not playing Shaheen. I was not playing Kazumi.
Was Jamie playing Law against him?
He was playing. I think he did, but Saint never played his main Jack. He played his secondaries, which is a Stavelgen, Dragunov, Eddie, characters like this.
Yeah.
And all the other three were playing the mains, and basically he had all the downloads by then. He finished it.
So you think that he was all ready to go on Monday?
Yeah, and on Monday all you needed was, okay, so I'm right. Let's just play like this and sweet.
And then we're good.
Yeah. He said it many times, but it comes from an experience playing other top level players. So it's really hard to change timings of the moves you use, because how you've been using it works with everyone else. So you have muscle memories. You just end up doing the same thing, which didn't work, and you do it because it worked before against other people. And this is not fixable in one day, unless you already have experience of adapting really quickly. If you've been to a lot of tournaments and you played a lot of different people, then you learn how to adapt quickly to other players. So when I was playing Saint on Monday, I managed to change my timing a couple of times.
Yeah.
And that's the times when I managed to take a round off or reduce his life down a little bit more than before. But
sometimes you sort of see it, like in people. Like, I mean, when I'm online, like I actually see when I'm playing against someone who's really good, such as Adam or Boy Lover. Yeah. When I was playing him with Xiao Yu and he was using Jin, you can actually see that he's got different. He changes his style every round.
Yeah.
So you're sort of like, okay, he's got his backdashing going now. Okay, well he's like full on attack now. Okay, well he's going to be sidestepping and stuff like that.
So whatever you do, it's really important in a tournament setting, especially to continuously adapt to the other player and see what they're doing and react to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you also change your style so that they can't adapt to you. And in New Zealand, it's not because of the player base is small or anything like that. It's because we've only played ourselves. And maybe a few Australian guys.
Yeah.
Here's
a question from me though, like speaking of which, with what you just said, this is sort of just to add on to it. So what makes, let's say, players in the likes of South Korea, different to people like, let's say, in New Zealand, or even other people like in Australia compared to New Zealand? Because I know that our community is quite small, but if we go overseas, like let's say to Korea or even to Japan, a lot of us are going to get bodied.
So I'm not sure which level.
Anything that you could actually like, sort of tell everyone.
Well, the main difference between I'm not sure about Australia because I only know a handful of people there who I played online with, but the main difference between a country which has a higher level is because one thing really matters is because Korea and Japan has a lot of high level players there, right?
A lot more as well.
A lot more. And
quantity,
a bigger base of different characters, different styles, and also not much as now. The labbing is not much as before, but before they used to lab everything. So, for instance, certain moves like strings, for instance, like back 1-2, Dragonov's back 1-2, the minus frames on that. The minus frames on Dragonov's back 1-2 is actually different if you only block the second hit. Whereas for everyone here, they would only punish it with what they know for blocking both 2-hit strings. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's bigger. No one knows exactly. No one exactly knows. So, people like Saint will lab this, and they would actually know. Or they would have looked it up. And they would have tested the punishes and everything.
Right.
So that makes a big difference. They practice it and they do, instead of just playing the game, they've actually studied it much more in depth.
So you're saying that New Zealand plays the game?
Yeah, basically that's it. So we don't go in too much depth. We go to the level where...
So we sort of just scratch the surface where they actually
I think the high level here, people like Ajit who play Street Fighter and Jamie and... BG, and so BG doesn't do it much as now as before. I don't do it as much as before, but we just managed to kind of go in, but we never. So back in BR, we
never explored the whole thing.
Yes, back in BR, we used to lab everything. Oh, why did this happen? Why did he manage to sidestep this? What's the situation? We used to actually go through that, but nowadays we don't even have that. So small things like that actually make a big difference. So that actually accumulates in the match. So. What I mean by accumulates is that, for instance, I can punish one move with, let's say, Kazumi's down for 1-2.
Yes.
But because I don't know, I think it's a 10 frame punish, I would just do 1-1-2. The damage difference between 1-1-2 and down for 1-2 is huge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That builds up. So let's say if I did 3 down for 1-2s, it would have ended the match.
Yeah.
But if I did 3 1-1-2s, he would be still alive and maybe in rage.
Yeah. So I guess that it all comes down to situational sort of circumstances. Like, for example, always in every game there's always a square one, and square one is just you standing in front of your opponent and you guys are sort of spacing out, spacing each other out, and then basically whoever gets the first launcher successfully would get that damage output. So I guess that it's just like, okay, so it's a mind game on the ground. Once I launch you, then we get the damage. So that's where you have to maximize your damage.
Yeah. So
and also see how far you are on the wall, right?
Yeah.
From the wall.
So I think that's just the surface. So and then the mind game comes and everything.
Where do you think the main play of Tekken is? Is it on the ground? Is it sort of?
I believe that Tekken is all about movement and punishing. I don't.
And it's about sort of knowing your opponent, right? Or the character.
And yeah, so Tekken, to a far extent, is actually a learning game. I think a lot of the fighting games are. It goes more than reaction. So you actually need to know how to punish. You need to know what the range is, and you need to know how much that tracks, especially in Tekken. So it becomes a learning game. The reason that Tekken Tag 2 was such a difficult game is because it had different situations on which side you're on, as well as there were so many characters to learn punishes for.
Right.
And certain characters had better sidesteps. So let's say on -7, this character can't sidestep to dodge a move. But characters maybe for instance, it's just an example by the way, just talking very generally, characters like Lily, Nina, Elisa could sidestep it. So if you don't know this, they will just sidestep and launch all the time. So it's the same as the current one. Fire. Whereas Fire is a little bit more balanced in that wise because the movement is not so big of a difference between the characters unless you're like Jack, Gigas, who is so big and can't really sidestep anything, or Kuma. Kuma's one
but
of them. Also Kuma can sidestep certain situations as well.
His hitbox is pretty weird though.
Yeah,
I think he's got one of the weirdest hitboxes.
But it's the same as Jack. So you need to know those situations where if I press this button at which would normally maybe block against this, they would have to block in this situation. Some characters will be able to dodge and hit you, and without labbing things like this, or without the matchup experience with that character, or if you've never experienced it before, you won't know. Whereas people like the high level players in Korea and Japan, they play each other a lot at high level, and they know. They've experienced enough, so they know, okay, I shouldn't do this. Okay, maybe I can delay and do this, and I can punish what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So it becomes a more complicated game. Whereas over here, a lot of the players don't go that far. They will just say, okay, this move will track to this way. Oh, why are you pushing buttons? You're a minus. But they don't really get the mind game. Why am I pressing minus? Why am I pressing back when I'm like -3 or 4? It's because you're gonna press a big button, then the jab's kind of counter it, or you're gonna move around and I'm gonna jab back, and then you test him doing it, test what their reaction is, and then if they react properly, you stop doing it and try something else, and it just goes. This goes back and forth.
It's definitely something that this is what you've just explained. Sort of, is very very sort of clear, as to how to play the game. And things like, because a lot of people, what they do is they just go in and they start gun blazing, and that's it.
So if you don't understand this mind game, you'll be stuck at a certain level for a long time, because you'll never understand why they're hitting back. It could be because they're not good as you, and they're just pushing buttons, or are they really actually better than you or on your level, and actually they're testing you to push buttons. So it's all about this mind games, the movement, the mind games, the punishing and everything. It's quite difficult if you go a little bit further down. It's much more. It's quite easy to get into, but once you start learning it, it becomes quite a headache. And since this is Saint Shakers, just adding on to Monday, I think a lot of guys would be are pretty curious what happened on Monday evening against Saint. It's the same thing. It's basically, I know what he's doing and he knows what I'm doing, and I know he's gonna do this, so I have to go the other way, but he already read me and went to the other way, and then that's where I'm going backwards only because I can't go forward because of his 2-jab. I have no way of going through that, because if I try to do something, he always somehow manages to read it and does back to 4-2 with him, which is a counter, which guarantees a 4-4-4.
Yeah.
Or if I try to duck something, he'll always try to land a 4-4-1, and that has a just frame damage, which also has a Oki situation afterwards.
Yeah.
So, that's the mind game really. The skill gap, I wouldn't say, is something huge
between you and.
It's not the skill gap. Actually comes from the experience. That okay, so this guy like Saint knows. Okay, Cornova, he plays like this. I've experienced it once. Okay, who played like this before? Oh, okay.
So you're saying that he sort of takes advantage of his opponent's habits.
Yeah, because he's experienced it somewhere before, offline or an attorney. That's what he said in the interview as well. Someone that plays like him offline. So he's experienced this before, and it would be someone who probably does it better than me, or he's experienced it enough so he knows what to do if I play like this.
Yeah. And
in New Zealand, we don't have that experience.
Yeah. I'd say that's a fair call.
It's not about the level. I wouldn't say it's the player level. It's more of have you been through that? And because a lot of the play styles in Australia and in New Zealand are really linear.
I would sort of disagree with that on Australia because of how many people play.
It's not about the number of people playing. It's because they're always stuck to how they play. And this is something it's really hard to get out of.
So it's just you saying that it's bad habits that you cannot really
I wouldn't
shake.
say it's not really bad habits. It's just that that it's they're on the same line with us in that wise. That Australia gets more international than us, so they're in a more lucky way and they had also Gypsy from Korea for a long time there. So,
that was the Tekken 6 days.
Yeah, BR days.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're a little bit luckier than us in that wise, because Gypsy is world class level.
Yeah.
He basically taught them how to play high level Tekken.
Right.
Gypsy is one of the best.
He also dumped a whole bunch of cards on the community. Like, he just said, "Here, take all these cards. I
Yeah.
don't need them." I saw them. I actually witnessed, because I think that I was in Sydney.
Yeah.
And they were like saying, "Oh yeah, this guy came and he was amazing and
Yeah.
he taught us how to play." And I think Mario, the guy that plays King,
Yeah.
he's
MMP.
really good.
Yeah,
He was really good.
He's quit now.
Oh, is he no longer
He's
playing?
not playing.
Okay, that's strange.
His last tournament was the World Tourney back in Tekken Tag 2.
That was when BG was
that's
sent over.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one I didn't enter. I always joke saying if you only went because I didn't enter. In a sense, that's actually not. I'm not joking about it, because I was much better than BG at Tekken Tag 2 at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't enter because of my work.
I think that the only time that BG actually had the upper hand was Tekken 6 BR.
BR and
He did beat you a lot.
Yeah, in BR and Vanilla, it was up and down. So most of the time I had the upper hand in BG and Vanilla as well. So yeah, I would say during BR probably the only time I really couldn't beat him consistently.
Okay. Interesting. Well, basically, there's another question on here. Let me just see. Here we go. This is actually one of the last ones now. How do you feel playing someone like Saint, and what needs to be done, mostly for you, but can be for the community, to beat a caliber of that kind of player?
For me, or as a community?
As a community. So obviously you did cover some of it, saying that some of the mentality that we have, we need to sort of change it up a little bit.
If you want to get better than what you
need
now.
to start, sort of analyzing the things that that your opponent would do, and sort of how you're going to react to it, right?
So that's one of the biggest things I learned when Saint was here, and that's one of the reasons I got that mental block. It's because he's already been through this, and this is how he got so good quickly. Although he was already good, he got even better, and how JDCI and Saint is practically wrecking everyone around the world. And then I learned when he was talking here, and then about this mentality thing, and it really helps. But it's really that it's really to the point where how good you guys want to get. Are you satisfied with your level right now? Are you do you want to get better at what you're doing, like how you play? It's only really up to the players themselves. It can't be through a community, because sooner or later one person will get better. But if you play a lot with the people around your level, and then one person levels up, someone can chase. At the moment, I don't think anyone can chase me at the moment, to be honest. Like, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was around the same level as Blackout, BG. But I think over the LPL periods, I've actually managed to step up the level.
Yeah, that actually reminded me there. I actually got a question that was fired from DSAM, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it was a really good one. So he said, you've been playing, Tekken at a competitive level for a long time, in New Zealand now. At what point do you think that you've experienced the biggest level up, in your skill?
I think it's now.
You think it's now?
Now, yeah.
So it's basically playing. You think it's playing Tekken 7, and it was. Do you think it was like playing against Saint?
Yeah, it is actually. Well, the other case I had was back in Tekken Tag 2. So after I played Lee and only practice, I jumped up a lot. But like after I played Saint, I think I managed to jump up just as much.
Okay, so you say that he's sort of like, and let's talk about like Dragon Ball terms. He's sort of like, I guess, Beerus, and you're Goku.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, you wouldn't go that far?
Well, no, it's because by playing people like this, when you're like, because for a while I really felt like I'm stuck at a certain level. Like, I don't think I'm getting better. Although people like wouldn't agree, that they would think that I got much better. But for me personally, I think I've been stuck at a certain level for a long time since.
And then right now you sort of felt that you punched through.
Yeah, it was a big punch through. That feeling I had is actually gone, and that's why I was so. You guys might remember from the last Rambats, I lost to BG really badly in winners, and then
you lost him again. That's why you came second.
Yeah, but in the winners, if you didn't realize, I actually didn't really bother on purpose. I actually went to the losers.
So you threw?
Yeah, I threw it. I went to losers on purposely.
You shouldn't be throwing games like that.
No,
though.
I did it on purpose though. The whole reason I went to the Rambats on that weekend was actually because Jamie would know this really well. I have huge tournament nerves.
We all know.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned so many times. I'm just kind of sick of it.
Yeah,
kinda sick of hearing
it. The reason I went to the Rambats was I wanted to get that nerves. I wanted that situation where I will be nervous really badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get over it. And playing BG in that situation where I need to come back so much is the perfect stage. Because he was relatively in a good condition that day. He was playing pretty well.
Yeah.
And I was in not a bad situation. I was just a little bit hungry, but no. But it didn't really matter to me that day that I lose or win.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it over and done with. That, okay, if I manage to go through this, I know I can jump up one level.
Mm.
And that's how I played so well on the final week of LPO. Because I had the nerves gone completely. I was fine. My hands are shaking, obviously. It's going to shake sooner or later, but I wasn't like nervous from the start.
Yeah.
So things like that, you know. And then from that, with that confidence, you go play Saint and stuff. So I was playing well then. And then you play him, you learn something again. Then that thing that you always had missing when you play someone that.
So you think that was sort of like, you know, there was some inner demons that you just needed to conquer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well, and
that was tournament nerves.
I think it's not just tournament nerves, but for me it was more of a mind state how I play within a game. Because I don't really think or have a peace of mind when I play. I just don't really think. All I'm thinking is, okay, that's a punish. Oh, I whiffed. Oh, that's it. But I don't really have, I don't really have peace of mind or really. It's really hard to describe. I think it's more of a. I think it was rather than skill, but more of a mind level thing about the mind game thing.
Yeah. And
when I got over this, you see, when I played people like Rambo, right? Casually, not really seriously. In a casual situation.
I love playing Rambo on a casual basis. He's so funny. It's just the abundance of shit that comes out of that guy's mouth. It's just amazing. It's just
yeah. Anyway, like if I play Rambo, right, in a casual status where where we're just playing casually, not really trying to win, the outcome would be generally 6-4, where I'm 6 and he's 4. But after I went through that, I knew, okay, I'm not gonna lose at all, even on Monday evening, right? And on Saturday, I played him twice, right? On Saturday, I played him in winners and I played him in grand finals, and I knew I'm not gonna lose. Like, I picked low because they asked to put up a show, a little, so I picked low on purpose because just to play for fun. But then, when it was about to be reset, I just picked Dragunov so I can just end it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you guys will have that situation where you're like stuck, and you probably just need that situation to come to you where it just gives you a fresh mind after going through it.
Sandbagging from NCA. Yeah, well, I guess that is sandbagging in a way.
Yeah, well, in a way that I did sandbag the first game. First game and like the first winners finals in Rambats. That is true. I did sandbag. I played as if it's casuals and BG was playing like a tournament. So that's the difference.
Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
But also, just the question that I want to ask. So, who's your waifu?
I knew you were gonna ask this.
Come on, man. I'll ask everyone this.
Who I would say.
And why?
Well, to be honest, there's not really there's only few female characters.
You
in
gotta
Tekken,
you gotta understand though. Like this isn't like real life. I mean, it's not like they have to like you back or
yeah,
anything.
of course.
So.
I think it's Nina.
Nina.
Yeah.
Damn. You know, you and I believe it's you and Ajith that said Nina now. So.
No, because Nina was always my favorite Tekken female character.
She's OG.
It's.
She is OG though.
Yeah. No, it's just.
Not to mind, she's like 50 years old.
Oh, she doesn't look 50 years. She was like, frozen and yeah, she's a mom, but.
Okay.
No, I think she's a very attractive female character compared to the other lot.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. I actually thought that you would actually say someone like, I don't know, Kazumi.
Nah, I don't think Kazumi is like as a waifu material is. Yeah, well, in a way,
she's
yes,
pretty yandere, man. She'll probably kill you in your sleep or something,
Yeah. I always say as a joke, the grandma is the best.
Grandma's the best.
Because Kazumi is a grandma.
Not to mention your Heihachi, though.
Always, yeah.
Well, you've had this, like, we've actually joked about this, where, where you and Heihachi...
Come on, stop out with that.
And then you have, like, you've got Civil as your son, and he's Kazuya, and then you've got Peter, who's, Lee, he's adopted. You have Dan Banter now, who's like Lars, because he's half Korean, I don't know.
He's half, yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's been great. Yeah, it's definitely good just to have you on the show, man. It's, I just feel that, I just need to go through all the necessary, people. Another one that I definitely want to have in is definitely Rambo, but he needs a partner.
Yeah.
He needs Seville.
He needs
Seville to drive the
well, if not just Seville, I think Rambo will be fine if you have Peng here with him.
Chicago?
Yeah.
No, I think that it's not as fun as as having Seville, because those two sort of they kind of grow on on each other.
Yeah, it's because
they fuel each other.
Yeah, it's because the main reason
I think it's because Seville sort of eggs him on a lot.
There's a reason for that. It's because the attitude that Seville has is he learned it from Rambo, and he's just fully taking it now. So there was a time where Rambo was being overly humble, and that's where that too good thing came from.
Well, we'll save that for the for them, because obviously they probably have, we want to hear it from them. Those two are seriously like an old couple.
Yeah, they are.
They bicker. They yell at each other, and then they just make up at the end.
Yeah, they always make up.
Yeah,
like
with a kiss.
Yeah, it was a kiss, right?
With a kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So I think next week what I'm going to do is, just from a lot of people saying that I should actually do a podcast for myself, and I'll welcome back Zaza Jamie back on. He'll be interviewing me, but all those people that have a lot of questions and things like that, do let us know. I'll do my best to answer them. I may not be the best, or up to the level of of Thomas and Jamie and everyone else, but I'm more than happy to answer any questions, any trolling questions. That's fine, but no, it's definitely going to be good. So just as we ride off into the sunset here and end things up, I just want to sort of just rehash on what was talked about today, especially with all the upcoming events. So again, on Saturday, we will be having Rambats, and that will be held in Megaweb on in Hobson Street. So the entry is $10, and it will be a double elimination. So if you feel that you have what it takes to grab that championship, definitely come by, test your strength, test your limits, and everything, and definitely give all the other players a good run for their money. I'm pretty sure everyone would be welcoming, and would like to welcome a lot of new faces and everything. Also, next month we will be having Southern Cross Up, which is New Zealand's biggest fighting game tournament. There will be a lot of games that will be happening over there. Street Fighter, Smash, Tekken, maybe Guilty Gear, I think. Would it be?
No, I think that was Guilty Gear in it.
Yeah, Guilty Gear, and a whole bunch of games. So, yeah, if you're not doing anything that weekend, or if you want to escape for the weekend, come by. It's at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Entrance will be a little bit hefty, which is $60, but it's going to be an awesome event.
By the way, as far as I remember, registration's closing quite soon. So if you guys want to enter, now is the time. Go ahead, do it. It'll be fun. I haven't actually registered yet. I'm still deciding to go.
You need to.
I'm still deciding to go to Southern Cross Up or not, but I will definitely be at Rambats. Show up. If you want to ask questions on Tekken, go ahead.
And if you feel that that you want to give Thomas a good run for his money, just say, oh, he's nothing, I can beat him. Yeah, come by. We'll have some money matches.
No, thank you.
Well, I'll support you. I'll put $20 down for you.
I don't think I would lose in a money match, but people like...
well, if you have people like, the old, back in Tekken 2 days, like Tekken Tag 2 days, who wants to challenge people or say everyone sucks, then...
Nah, I'm pretty sure if it's money on the line... Jamie Joe will start trying, and then he'll start bodying me, so I don't want him to start trying.
Well, he has a knack for really turning things up when it's really needed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't try hard enough this time, but...
not enough alcohol.
Yeah, maybe, or not enough energy drinks.
Yeah, probably.
Not enough fitness.
Yeah, but thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Next week will be myself, so... Yeah, like I said, fire away any questions and everything. I will be posting it up on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Special thanks goes to Virtual Bacon for having this awesome drawing, and he will be making more drawings in the future. A special thanks for Drax, who's basically done the voiceover for my intro. He will be doing more if there's going to be more promos happening. So stay tuned, guys. Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining.